What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight what we're going to do is we're going to put this paint gun back together and see if what kind of spray pattern we get out of it. See if we did a good cleanup job or not. Don't look too bad. We'll set you up and we'll get back at you in a minute. Okay, everybody, let's see if we can get this thing back together and see how it sprays. There's really no order in which you go to put this back together. I mean, you can start at the front, you can put the needle in. The only thing you can and cannot do is put this air valve in right here because before you put the trigger in. And you would probably best go ahead and put the packing nut back in here and the air valve, and then the handle, and then do the rest of it. But probably first we're just gonna go ahead and stick the new tip in here, or not the new tip, but the clean tip with the new gasket. So got the valve cleaned up pretty good. There is a new gasket for the bottom of it right here, and it just seals off around this little edge right here. Now this tip, the nozzle, fluid nozzle, needs to be in there pretty good and tight. I think it's 50 foot-pounds, 60, I don't remember exactly. I never did put a torque wrench on it. I just made sure it was good and tight. And if you do not get this good and tight, your air and your paint will mix together, and it will just explode out of the front of the paint gun, you know. So that ought to be good enough. Go ahead and put the retaining ring and the air cap on it to protect the nozzle in case we was to drop it or something. I'd rather damage the air cap than the nozzle. All right, that is on there. Now we're going to take our air valve, a little bit of grease on it. I normally lube up everything with spray gun lube, but I don't have any spray gun lube, so I'm using the whatever this is that comes with the gun cleaning kit from Harbor Freight. So as long as it's compatible with paint and don't cause fish eyes, it'll be all right. So we put a little bit on that sealing point right there, and it might not hurt to pull this out, and we'll do a little bit here too, just to give it a little bit of lubrication. All right, now that's good and tight. Now flip the gun up just a little bit. I'm gonna put our packing nut back in here. I am not gonna replace the packing in that. It's not bad, and I pretty much waste my time taking it out and putting a new one in it. Plus, on top of that, you tear the packing up to get it out. Well, to get that little packing out of there, One of them slides right out because, like I showed you before, they're two little round packings. One packing goes inside the other, and then it goes up in here. But with the threads, and then when you compress it in here, it compresses that packing out to where it actually threads in there. So you actually have to run a screwdriver up through the back of it, get it in there, just big enough that it don't damage the threads in there, and then basically screw it out, and it'll come right out. All right. So I'm gonna put the needle in it, and I'm not gonna put nothing up here. Just about where the packing is. Just put a little smooth on it. Put our spring back in. I got the grease all over my hands now. And we'll put our cap back on. And it just screws in there like that. And this basically just controls the actual travel of the needle, how far it goes back. If you screwed it all the way in, you wouldn't be able to hit the trigger and get any flow out of the front of the gun. So really basically kind of how tight you want to have to squeeze the gun, basically. So that's back together. We'll put it back in the vise, and we got our new bolt for the handle. Put that back in. Now this little nut does not have to be super tight. It's got a little bit of blue thread sealant, Loctite, whatever it is from the factory on it, and it does not have to be that tight. So these two parts here, the air control valves, the fan controls, I did not take them apart. I did not do nothing. And basically all I was going to do, because I looked and I did not have the gaskets that go in here, the little O-rings. And basically all I was going to do was put a little lube on them, but they feel fine, so we're just going to put them back in. We're just trying to see what this gun do anyway. So it was an overall rebuild. We would tear the whole thing apart. We would soak it. We clean it up, try to make it spick and span as possible. And so I'm at right there. Oh, I was going to put it where the cup goes. Okay, so pretty much got it back together, with the exception of just screwing the cup on it and putting fluid in it and test it and see how it goes. As far as setting up the gun, you have basically what I was talking about earlier. You have the tension here, and this gives you however much tension on the needle as far as the spring loaded there. And when you go to test the gun to see if it's going to work properly, that packet in there and this nut, you wait until you get ready to actually use the gun. You don't want to have too much tension on it because the needle will go real slow back up to the sealing point at the tip. So basically what you want to do is you want to work it and you want to tighten it up, and you get it tight to the point where it's just tight enough on the needle and that it does not let paint seep past the packing, past the needle, but not tight enough that it holds on the needle. Now, it's supposed to be a tool made for this, but I don't have it. And I guess I could find a little, but I just put a little bit of tension on it and see that's too much. A lot of times you have to adjust at it and set the tension on the packing that goes on the needle when you put new packings in it. This packing's already been worn on this needle a little bit, so we ought to be pretty good. This thing actually needs a new cup on it, but I don't paint anymore. And I hadn't painted anything in 25 years except for porches and houses. So we're gonna get some air, and we're gonna put some water in it because I do not have any paint. But we're just gonna do it for testing purposes and see how it works, and we'll get back at you in a minute. Okay, everybody, let's see what this thing does. Don't have no paint. Don't have nothing to paint. Couldn't find anything else other than maybe try it on this piece of cardboard. So let's see what she does. Which, this is water. I wish I had some paint. Maybe another day we'll find some paint and hook up, mix up, and spray something. But as of right now, paint gun works pretty good. Not leaking past the tip. We don't have any air leaks. It is rebuilt. The tip and needle combination and the nozzle does give probably about a 5 or 6 inch pattern. We might dig out and see if we can come up with a bigger pattern for it. I'm pretty sure I probably got the tip, nozzle, and needle for it. I'll just have to find my manuals that tell me what combination to put in it. But we're probably gonna end this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.